Okay, everybody, good late afternoon, spilling into the evening here. We're just about an hour away from the Hard Knocks episode, so definitely going to be tuned into that. Definitely going to be watching that with great interest. But first, the Seahawks did actually have a practice today. They did do some stuff out on the VMac, and we learned a couple of things. Not a lot, because we're well past the point of practices being filmed and practice is being covered really closely, but want to go ahead and go over some of the things that went down today. First, though, not a practice note, we've got this. And I think most of us saw this coming, but there was some hope that one or both of these players would be able to work their way back by the later point of the season, maybe in December or January, but no. This video was sponsored by Prize Picks. So rookie safety Bud Clark and offensive lineman Mason Richman have both been placed on injured reserve. And because they're getting placed on injured reserve now and not during the cutdowns in about a week, we know that they are out for the season. They cannot come back if they're put on IR now. Same as Robbie Oots, same as Jake Bobo. So they are not going to be playing this season. Unfortunate, but at this point kind of expected. And all we can do is hope they come back stronger. Now, my understanding is because they both got hurt playing football for the Seahawks, nothing happens with their contracts. We don't get an extra year of club control or anything like that because they did get hurt in the service of the Seahawks. We've had instances of players having extra years put onto their contract for rookie stuff because of injury, but that's because those injuries were sustained when they weren't doing stuff with the Seahawks. Like Darrell Taylor is a good example. He was hurt in college. Riley Mills, same thing. So I don't believe that's at play here. But yeah, they are both done for the year, will not be playing football for this season. Okay, so to replace, quote unquote, these players, although we're not really replacing them, I think we all understand that, but we had openings on the 90-man roster. Anthony Hankerson, by the way, got waived, and I think he's trying to go back to college football, which we're going to have a conversation about that at some point because that's getting really goofy. But Seahawks had 3 openings on their 90-man roster. Derek Graham, a tackle, Tysheem Johnson, a safety, Justin Jones, running back. Not really a lot to say about any of that. Of course, they're just guys that are going to be here for a week or maybe 10 days before cutdowns, but yeah, that closes the book on these two, which, again, especially for Bud Clark, he was going to do stuff this year. Okay, so moving past that, like I said, the Seahawks did have a practice today, but we don't really get to see any of it anymore. This is definitely, we're definitely at the point now where practice is kind of a relatively opaque sequence now for this team, where there's not a lot the team that can do that would really interest us that much because we've been practicing for a while now and we've got games. So there's only so much that can happen in practice that's going to really intrigue us. Nick Emanwari was on the field. He was in cleats, but he doesn't have the jersey yet on. He was jogging around a little bit. He was doing some stuff, but not yet playing football, just working his way back. So progress, but we are getting on a tighter timetable here. We've got about 2 weeks before the first game. Trayvon Diggs was also apparently full go. Not that we got to see everything, but Trayvon Diggs working his way up. All right, guys, let's take a quick break here to talk a little bit about Prize Picks, currently the #1 sports pick app in America. The app is very easy to use. Check it out to my left here. You can do player picks, where you just pick more or less on a few player stats and lock in your lineup. Or you can pick teams, where you pick winners, spread, or total on any game or fight. The app is available in most states, including California, Texas, and Florida. Right now, they have a great offer. You can play your first $5 lineup and get $150 in lineups if you win. All you have to do is use code HMA when you sign up. It's a brand new offer. Best time possible to get on the app. So get on over there and get to winning that first lineup. So remember, Prize Picks, code HMA. Download the app today and remember to always gamble responsibly. Okay, so that's a little bit of injury news. We also had a handful of players that were either not present or not fully participating from the little bit we got to see from Brady Henderson here. Torrey Horton, not warming up yet, so still working through whatever it is he's working through, which we don't know what it is. Anthony Bradford also not warming up, so something's up there. Josh Jones, and he did play in the Titans preseason game, so maybe something happened. Still no Emmanuel Wilson, which is starting to become I think, a bigger concern because it's been a while. And Chaz Surratt was also not seen in warmups. So Surratt obviously did play in the Titans game as well and play really well. So maybe something happened there. Again, it's way too early after the game for us to really think too much about anything. Ordinarily, players don't practice for a couple days after a game anyway. But those are the guys that were not seen. AJ Barner was out there, but not in uniform. So there is some indication that Barner's still kind of fighting his way back from some of the offseason surgeries he had and some of the work that he did to get back on the field. There are some indications that he's not where he needs to be quite yet. So yeah, there's some minor injury stuff lingering in this building right now. But we know the big ones, right? And these all seem relatively business as usual, except for maybe Horton. And Horton more so just because we're a little bit paranoid, I think, with him. Jadarian Price was in uniform again, so he's now stacked several practices in a row. And seems like everything's fine there. Remember, Charbonnet's still not off PUP, so we are actually pretty thin at running back, which is a big reason why Price is not going to play in the preseason game against the Chiefs in all likelihood, and why he hasn't played in the preseason at all so far. So we've at least got that. We've got some good news there, but we do have a couple of minor anxiety points as we head towards the start of the season. Final note, this was from Curtis Allen, who actually caught this in one of the video clips that Brady, excuse me, nope, my bad, that Brady Henderson posted. I didn't notice this until he pointed out, but you do see Julian Neal, so maybe we're finally starting to get some headway there. Granted, it's a little too late for Neal to really have a full off season now because we're already so deep into things, but hey, if he can at least get back on the field, that would be a significant step in the right direction. I would definitely be appreciative of that. At some point, he's going to have to start putting reps together and can't do it when he's hurt. So good news there, I suppose. Maybe too little too late. Maybe it was never going to be a big rookie year for Julian Neal anyway, but I think that's really about it. Again, pretty late. Not going to learn a lot from these practices anymore. We just kind of want them to be over so we can start playing games, but there's some injury updates in here that you can pick up on. So let me know what you guys think. See you guys later. Go Hawks. Sorry about Bud Clark. That's a bummer. He's a guy that I thought was going to do stuff of value this year, and now we'll never know. So let's get Nick Eamon-Worry back out there. That's really all I can say. And get to that first regular season game in 15 days. All right, go Hawks. Everyone have a good rest of your day.